volunteer based, and so all of us, we have our own unique roles that we can fill in the battle to legalize marijuana. And so one of the things that we've been trying to do is make DFW NORML inclusive enough that if you've got a unique skill or just an idea or something, you can bring it to us and we can hopefully get you started and let you be the champion of that project. How many of you guys have seen all these celebrities that we've been meeting lately and interviewing and stuff? Like, yeah, Tommy Chong, the Whalers the other day, these guys played with Bob Marley, and they were thanking us for what we're doing. The Whalers were. And all these other celebrities that we meet. We've met these hip-hop artists, we've met all these different people, and the only reason we've met these people is because of Pete.
The whole reason why I want to make sure that we're in front of all these entertainers is not for the purpose of just sitting down and be a fanatic of these entertainers. It's for the purpose of just making them know, how serious we are to get in front of these individuals and get their opinions. And that way they can see what we're able to do and build the awareness of what the chapter does for the whole movement. So, these guys have, they're celebrities. They're just to me, they're just people, and actually when you meet them, they're just people too. When we're dealing with the Whalers, we just sat down and watched Sci-Fi Channel with them. We're talking, just hanging out on the bus. I mean, they're just like you and I. They have opinions, and it's just important for me to make sure that we're around those people so that you guys can know how they feel about it. It just spreads the word of what ultimately that they think, but maybe the mainstream media won't put out there. You might hear rumors or gossip and shit in TMZ and stuff like that, but to actually get their opinions about what they feel about legalization and what they go through, to me is important, so that way we can kind of join together and do things together. And there's some talks that we're already going to do some things together with some of the artists that we've been in front of. We had a pretty busy month this past month. So we started out with Dero Music at the beginning of the month, and then went from that to Jeff Weird from the Expendables, and then went from that from Waka Flocka Flame. All these people of different genres. Then we decided to take it. I decided to take a little bit from just musicians to even radio personalities. So we sat down with DJ M Square from 97.9. Obviously someone from the radio station doesn't get a forum, even though they're on the radio, to talk about their opinions on what they feel about legalization. So it's kind of a restraint there. At least through our forum, they can express how they feel openly, and that let the public know what they really think about what's going on. And so, to me, it's valid. And of course, to be around icons like the Whalers, they've been, they are who they are. Obviously, their opinions, they had a lot of deep things to say about it. A lot of it was biblical and spiritual, but the most part, it was all about just unity and how they just strive to just focus on making sure that they express that message. So, and then, you go from that to we went to Devin the Dude, and then I had the privilege of being with Cypress Hill the other day. And when you deal with, again, icons, people that have been for the movement, for the cause, it's extremely valid that you get what they really feel. And so when you get a chance to hear Be Real talk about, what legalization meant to him, and what his opinion is, and how long it's been for him to finally see it, what he felt when he finally heard that states were finally, opening the doors. It's cool to get that, because he would tell me no one had talked to him about that. They just talked to him about the music, it's, what the new video is, who you're working with, and that's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear about what they stand for. So he was glad to just be able to be in front of a forum and say, hey, what he wanted to say about legalization. So, stuff like that is just important, and that's why I try to do the best I can to get in front of these other artists, all these artists. And here next month we got a few people I'm working on right now. In January, Lady Gaga will be here. She's a huge activist, so I thought it was important to reach out to her. Charlie Murphy, I'm sure you guys know who Charlie Murphy is. That's Eddie Murphy's brother. He's going to be here on the 20th of December, and he's a very funny dude. Okay, you guys, I'm looking forward to that encounter. And then from that to we'll have an interview coming up with Shaun, with Lanny Swerdlow. I'm probably screwing that whole name up. It's going to be on kcaaradio.com, which is, the program is called Marijuana, Compassion, and Common Sense. It's based out of Los Angeles, and they basically asked us to be guest speakers on it. So Shaun and I will be guest speakers on this program. This is going to be a Monday. Shaun will be on at 6:15 p.m. So there'll be a link on it. You guys can check that out. And then I'll be on at 6:35. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I know Shaun has a valid point. I'll probably just ditto everything Shaun did for about 10 minutes. So hopefully that'll suffice. I forgot that also Alex Watson from Rush will be sitting down with Alex Watson. Yeah! Screw Walker 5 on Cypress Hill. Rush! Rush, bitches. Slap in the face. So anyways, that's to me, that's the reason why, we get in front of these people. And just to let you guys know, as far as the brand marketing, we're doing a cross promotion with, I'm sure you guys have heard of Stealth products that I have back here. The odorless bags and the backpacks that you guys that we've talked about in the meetings and whatnot. Stealth Products is going to be doing not just doing a percentage back to the chapters that are involved. It's not just us. It's going to be a nationwide deal that we hooked up. So basically, they're providing a website that's going to be in addition to the DFW NORML site to put any content just for our chapter, and they're going to feature the products on there, and we get a percentage of the sales of the product. And they'll be putting that out there and just be updating it. And this will be nationwide for all the chapters across the country. It's been a busy month, so we've got all this awareness. And I went down to Austin a few times. Actually, probably we've down to Austin 3 times in the last 2 weeks just to go and counteract with Texas NORML. Did their smoke out there. Steve was out there. Josh was out there. We had a good time out there. And then Ash came out there and we covered the Whalers during the Formula 1 event, and then I went back to Austin again for the mixer. Actually, it was the mixer first, and then the smokeout. So that's another thing I tried to do is make sure that the chapter I represent, we go across the board, and I'm in different markets all over the place. So I want to make sure that I stay consistent with that awareness. It just shows that what we're doing as a chapter, I'm just doing the best I can to represent the chapter as a whole in each one of these markets, so that way they can see the strength of what we're trying to do. To me, it just helps when we interact with these other chapters, build the awareness, and just basically build the strength of numbers. So, anyways, that's about it. I think I probably bored y'all enough. I will give this back to Shaun.
My dad has, even with all that we're doing here, my dad has trouble kind of taking what we're doing here seriously. But when I told him that we were going to be sitting down with Rush, he was like, no fucking way. So I think it's funny that name dropping this one possibility is what it took to get him to take the last 2 years of my activism seriously, but hey, I'll take it. I like to do the recaps of things because a lot of people that subscribe to us never show up to anything. I'm talking to you at home, watching this only, that you weren't here. We do all these great events, and the whole point is to get more people to show up, to get more people to take ownership of the chapter. And the more that we can get people to actually leave the comfort of their home to talk about this topic, to talk about it at school or at work or wherever they safely can, the more that we're going to continue to win this fight. What we're doing here, it matters. You coming to these meetings matters. Opening the emails, interacting with us on Facebook, it matters. And so I really encourage any of you to find a way to get more involved with us. And so please tell your friends. We got an upcoming event called Chronico that we're going to talk about very soon, here in a minute. We're really trying to make all these opportunities for you to get your friends that maybe aren't crazy about the idea of going to a normal meeting on a Saturday. Maybe they will give us a chance if we provide some live music and it's actually a fun event. That's what we've really been trying to do, is make our activism fun and effective. And I think that we've really been doing a good job of it. And what Larry's about to come up and talk about is proof of this, because now it's serious. Colorado and Washington, they legalized marijuana, baby. We can point to these places and say, hey, look, they did it now. Colorado, the first $40 million of the money that they bring in is going to schools and public road construction. Nobody can argue with that. $40 million? When's the last time education got any money? And so that's what I really, really want us to talk about right now, is Larry's going to come up and he's going to talk about the 3 bills that DFW NORML is working on that we're going to submit in the next legislative session. Not just one, we want 3. We want the strongest showing that we've ever had. We're going to have some awesome people working on these bills. Larry is one of them, Tristan is another. I'm going to let Larry come up here really quick and talk about these things, because we had a meeting about it at Larry's house the other day, and I'm just really excited that we're taking it to this next step, where we're going to bring it to the legislature. Come on up, Larry.
I smoke pot.
Yeah.
Is everybody normal?
Yeah.
I am too. My name's Larry Talley, and I retired from the Navy in 2007. Came out here to Dallas and set up camp, got sick, and found out that marijuana actually treats my ailments, my illness. And I later discovered that, well, it not just treats that, it also makes me feel better. It's a magical fruit. So skip ahead a couple of years later, and here we are today. Now, when Shaun came on, we weren't sure what was going to happen this next Texas legislature. We weren't sure what was going to happen this last election. Now, I don't know who you supported. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that we don't have a candidate that's taken the presidency that's going to eviscerate the previous, all these dispensaries that have been built over the last 5 years. Right? So what we have to do now here in Texas is come up with a different way. Texas has been notorious over the eons that it's existed for being bigger and better and doing things more grander than other states. So we think that in this same tradition as old Texas has had all these years before these medical marijuana laws came into being, that we need to do it right the first time. We sat down and we started to draw up some ideas for bills because we know that we have to have one. We don't have a good one. We haven't had a good one in a long time. So as we sat down and started to draw these up, we realized, why don't we just go for legalization? Because if we have to drop medical, well, you know, we get this argument all the time. Medical's just a wolf in sheep's clothing. You guys want flat-out legalization? Well, hell yeah, we want flat-out legalization. Okay, let's skip medical. Let's go out for flat-out legalization. So that's our goal. So we've got the workflow put together with currently 4 attorneys, 2 in part of this chapter. One of them sitting right over here that's going to help us draw these bills up together. We have a draft bill already put together. So let me articulate a little bit. Now this is the cat out of the box. By the way, this is the first time that you're hearing this, that there is going to be a legalization bill in the state of Texas, this next Texas legislature. This is going to happen. So there's a lot of elements to this bill that haven't been concluded yet. There's a lot of elements to this bill that haven't been created yet. But let me tell you what the initial promise, or what we initially want to do, the boilerplate that we put together includes a personal grow up to 25 plants per Texas resident. Beyond that, it requires that there be some type of a license, a commercial distribution and manufacturing license of some sort, very similar, and we're writing this bill along the same model as liquor sales. So I didn't say alcohol, because beer and wine, you can buy beer and wine in different places than you can buy liquor. So imagine a store that's taxed and licensed, where they check IDs so that we can try to reduce the population of children getting access to this product, in a model very similar to that, with the ability of growing it yourself without distributing it for profit outside of that commercial entity. So that's a tax and regulation model that we thought about very extensively on legalization level. Now, unlike other states that already have medical, they had to contend with legalization laws on top of medical. We don't have that, and if we can try to avoid it, then it's really to our best advantage, because then we can leave every Texas resident with the ability to grow 25 plants. Now, our opponents are going to say, well, then this sure is a whole lot of money that people are going to be growing in their house. It's millions and millions and millions of dollars. I've already talked to a couple of people that have brought up some of those basic questions, and it's really funny to think about. People forget about supply and demand, because when everybody has a supply, what happens to price? It goes down, it makes it less valuable. So if everybody's got a little bit of weed in their pocket, how much are you going to sell that for? Nothing. So that's the whole idea, is we devalue this product, make it available in places where kids can get to it, but we also regulate it, we tax the hell out of it, so that we can make some money in this great state of Texas and use it for something useful. So this is our model, and this is what we want to do. Shaun mentioned that we're coming up with 3. Really, we're looking at, in this order, first of all, the legalization bill I just mentioned, that would also change all the concentrate laws to be the same as the marijuana laws, and those marijuana laws would be redefined by that bill. The second bill would be a medical bill. So if we can't get that out of the gate, maybe we can get a medical bill. Maybe we can, but we're going to write a really good one. All right, then we can write a hemp farming bill. We think that's also very important, because that's good for economic trade in the state of Texas. Honestly, there's a lot of people that believe that we may have a better chance of getting a farming bill out of the state of Texas than we do some other bills, because the economic plight of a lot of Texas farmers, and for those people in the Texas legislature that really don't like President Obama, that we keep seeing on TV, doing everything but actually flipping them off, then this gives them something that they can flip at the Texas legislature can flip at the federal government and say, hey, we're gonna legalize. You can grow all kinds of hemp here in Texas now. And so that's really the idea. Then the last bill, of course, is a decrim bill for hashish. If we can't get anything passed, we want to make sure that concentrates of marijuana are treated just the same as marijuana. We hear all these crazy stories about how people making bathtub marijuana concentrates and blowing up places. Let's put some common sense into that water in that water process, and making the water extracted hash isn't going to hurt anybody. So that's our last thing that we really want to do. So as we have these bills, I think you can see really there's hope. Whereas there's been a lot of just what are we doing for 2 years? We're waiting on the Texas legislature. Now we actually have some hope. We have the ability to now champion something to the Texas legislature. And within a month, we're going to have one bill. That's our goal, is to have this bill ready by, before the next meeting so that we can pass out copies to everybody and you can see this is the bill that we want to take to the Texas legislature. Then we can all begin to make meetings with our legislators and telling them, this is the bill that we want you guys to pass. This is the bill that we want to make a difference. We're going to include outside organizations. Besides DFW NORML, there's other organizations that operate in the state of Texas and nationally. Drug Policy Alliance, Mothers Against Teen Violence is right here in downtown Dallas, Drug Policy Forum of Texas, Law Enforcement Against Prohibition. These are all organizations that NORML is teamed with nationally in other states that have gotten successful marijuana laws changed. So this is exactly what we want to do. We're going to incorporate with these folks. They're dying to come out here to Texas. The Libertarian Vice President candidate was a really nice fellow named retired federal judge Jim Gray. Well, Jim Gray, I talked to him in an email about a week ago, and he said that he's just dying to come out here to Texas to talk to the Texas legislature about changing these Texas laws, and whatever bill we come up with, as long as it's better than what we have now, he's going to come up here on his own dime. So these are the kinds of people that we want to bring out here that we really can use to help make a change here in Texas. But it's not going to help, and it's not going to happen without you, the Texas residents, the people that are from here, the community. This is where we need you. This is where Shaun was talking about, this is where you come out of your church pew and quit being a church pew potato and stand up and do something. So we're going to help you with that. We're going to tell you how to talk to your Texas legislatures. We're going to give you their phone numbers. We're going to give you their addresses. We're going to even give you some form letters to help you along. But that's what our goal is. We have to get our bills out of committee if we're going to make any headway at all this year. And if we're not successful this year, we're going to get so damn far this year that the next legislative session, there won't be any doubt. It'll be a done deal before we get started, right? Well, thank you guys very much for coming out here for this meeting today and showing us your support. Listening to what we have to say and helping us along the way and doing this. You're doing this for yourself. You're doing this for your family, for your community, and really, truthfully, you're doing it for the kids and for the future of the state of Texas. God bless you guys. Thank you very much.
The holidays kind of got a little screwy, and so we figured we'd pass on Thanksgiving. So instead, we've decided to go with Chronica. This is going to be our holiday party, our non-denominational holiday party, by the way, that features the ugly sweater contest. So if you've got some awesome Christmas wear or otherwise holiday wear, you could win some dank prizes. So please consider wearing one of those. But we've got an awesome Facebook event page already with all the bands. Almost every single one of these bands is pretty much handpicked by us, people that we've just been wanting to put together for an event for a while. We've got finally we've got Eddie from the Vatican Press, who's helping us with our sound. We're no longer having sound issues now that Eddie's gotten involved with us, and I just feel like we're really starting to throw great events. So great that people like Chris, the owner of Red Goose and Froggies, is like, hey, you want to do a monthly event? Or Lola's has offered to throw, all these different places are just saying, hey, do something here, DFW NORML. Whereas a year and a half ago, we couldn't get anybody to even talk to us. They get to the M in our name and they're just like, no. But now, people are calling us. We're having to tell people constantly that we just don't have the manpower to go to all of these events as DFW NORML. That's where you guys come in. Because I can't go to every event. Pete can't go to every event, though he tries to. All we want is more people to show up and actually take this seriously enough to make a priority in their lives. You don't have to dedicate your life to it. You don't have to spend 8 hours a day at it like I do, because I'm crazy. But I love this shit. And so I'm going to keep doing it until this stuff is legal, so I can rest. All we want is for you to just take ownership of your organization, because that's what it is. It's not mine, it's yours. You are a part of it, but you have to be there to actually make something out of it. So, Chronica, December 29th, Red Goose, Fort Worth, should be good. We're also we are definitely. We're going to go ahead and do our meeting. That's the last Saturday of the month, which is when we always do our meetings. We're going to go ahead and do our meeting at Red Goose, followed by Chronica. So hopefully, we'll have plenty of volunteers. So please come to our December meeting. Remember, it's the 29th.
Yeah, up in UNT, we've got a lot going on right now. If you've been following us on the webpage on DFW NORML or on UNT NORML on Facebook, you'll see that we have a member right now that National NORML has taken a liking to, named Zach Walker. And they're calling him the marijuana moxie in Texas. And for those of you who don't know what moxie means, basically means somebody that's got big balls. He's the first person in a long time in Texas to challenge. Basically, he's not taking a plea bargain, and he's going to take a possession charge to court. And the NORML legal committee is helping him out a lot. And we're kind of hoping to set a precedent with him. So we're definitely doing some big things up there. We're preaching jury nullification a lot. Basically trying to tell people that, hey, if you sit on a jury, you don't have to convict unless you agree with the crime that they committed. So that alone in Texas is not getting a lot of attention, so we're really trying to promote that, especially at a college level with young, developing minds, something that we can really get out and help people stay out of jail. My personal philosophy is I kind of approach marijuana legalization a little bit differently than most people. I don't see it as most of us don't see marijuana as a drug. You see it as something you can kind of do to wind down a little bit. But I see this entire thing as a human rights issue. And I think that the more that we put people in cages for holding a flower it's ignorant. So that's really the very libertarian approach to it, I think. But that's kind of what we're doing up there. One of the things that we did that we're doing on the topic of human rights is that we have started a toy and food drive because we think that we've been so blessed this year with so many people pouring resources into us and supporting our cause and helping us develop not only as an organization but personally as well. I mean, I've seen a lot of you people really grow a lot in the year and a half that I've been here. So basically what we're doing is if any of you guys and if you know anybody that needs help, we'd really appreciate you reaching out to us. Because we would like to help normal families before we just donate to a generic cause. That way we can see the effect of what we're doing, at more of a local level, if that makes sense. But if you, basically we have a bunch of, Loretta's put these boxes together over here and they're all over the place, and we'll have, we've got the list on Facebook right now of where they're at. I'll come to you and pick up food or toys if you have something you want to donate and can't get out. But basically, we really appreciate anything that you guys can do to help the food drive, whether it's toys or food. Just know that everything that you're doing is going to help a bigger cause and helping some kids and some families in the area that are definitely in need.
What's the deadline on
the deadline, we're going to go up until, I believe, the date we have online is the 17th of December. And then that'll give us time to get the toys wrapped, or basically that'll give us time to get the toys wrapped and delivered to normal families, or to leave them unwrapped and get them to organizations like Toys for Tots.
Is it just clothing, or toys? Can we donate?
Clothing is perfect also. It's anything you want to donate that would help families that are unfortunately less fortunate than we are.
I wish I was doing that. I got a big ass box.
I'm sorry? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, but Toys for Tots and Salvation Army is definitely where we're looking at donating the things that don't go to normal families. So anything you guys can feel like you can donate, we really appreciate it.
We were going to recognize Ash. Hey, do me a favor, recognize the badasses that made Day of the Tank possible for me. All right, everybody, this is Kelsey. She's the secretary. And she ran shit at Day of the Tank, so she knows the names of everybody who really kind of helped out. So she's going to go through them really quick because we had some great volunteers that toughed it out. It was a tough event if you were working it. So she's going to make sure that you understand how much we appreciate it.
Hi everybody, how are y'all doing? Good. Alright, so if I call your name, can you please stand up? We have Jen Holman, Matt Logston, Cassandra, I don't think you're here. Heidi, if you're here. Patrick, Aaron Massey. Patrick, right, you, stand up, sir. Do it. Loretta, Aaron Margoliner, Roxy. Ash is not here. Ed, all of these people. Leslie, also. Golly, she was at the table the whole night. Steve, everybody that came, you know what? The night was made because of you. And I would like everybody to give these people a round of applause because they made it possible that I did not have to stay on a table for 6 hours when I got to enjoy the event. So, I mean, like I said, because of these volunteers is the reason that we are what we are. And, you know, it takes the people that say they're going to come and the people that actually show up to do this. So we need the people at home, you watching, to, if you do commit, please show up, because it makes all the difference. And like I said, because of these people, I got to actually enjoy something for once. Well, not to say that I don't enjoy it, but again, thank you, and everybody have a good rest of the
So, you guys may have seen her before. Ash, she is a volunteer of ours. I digress. She's a volunteer of ours that does not smoke. She has put on an event for us. She is a photographer for us. She has just done a lot of different things for us. She's just a really creative person who just really believes in this cause. It helps that she works with and is friends with my lady, and so that's how we were able to kind of bring her in the beginning. But she's really stuck around, and so I hate that she's missing this because I wanted to give her the credit that's due to her. But Ash, you are Cannabis All-Star of the Month. I wish you were here. You're going to see this on video, so everybody please give Ash a hand because she's a total badass. She's a great example of somebody who just has ideas, who has talent, and who's willing to put a little bit of time into it. So thank you very much for everything you do, Ash. I'm sorry that you're not here. I'm sorry that you're probably mad that you couldn't get here because of the traffic. I'm sorry, but and everybody does. So thank you very much.
I was going to talk just a little bit about volunteering. Because like Kelsey mentioned, there's groups of people that show up all the time, there's groups of people that can't show up that often, and then we have a lot of people that come to different board members, myself included, and say, well, why don't we do such and such? We never do such and such. So I just wanted to let you all know that the projects that we do, if there's something that you're passionate about, if there's a 5K run that supports a specific charity, and you're really interested in DFW NORML getting out there and helping with that cause, all you need to do is find out the details, find out what it would take, what kind of manpower we're going to have, what kind of, is it a date that we can work with, bring it to one of the board members, and if we give you the okay, then you go and you apply for us as a group, and you agree to co-chair that event, and you pretty much step up to the plate, be a co-chair or a leader of that event, and get the people out there, get them motivated, get the volunteers lined up, and that's the way that we're able to do more things. When people come and say, why don't we? Well, I'm turning around and saying, why don't you help us do those things? And that was really all I had to say about the volunteer thing.
Yeah.